Hi everyone, welcome to the March 2020 users group. I am Molly McCormick and it has been a while, so I'm excited to be back hosting a users group today. This is unfortunately pre-recorded, so I cannot do a live Q&A, but I would be very happy to answer any of your questions or provide more information if you want to shoot me an email to molly@fosterwebmarketing.com. And with that said, looking about offers, and that's going to include, some of the staples of an offer page, how you can improve conversion rates on an offer page, how to funnel your site visitors to actually get to your offer and download it, and then some ideal drip campaign follow-up tactics. So this should get you pretty covered if you are starting a new offer or looking to improve an existing offer. Hopefully today we can give you some really good ways to make that happen. So let's dive in. One of the easiest ways to provide a great initial experience is to use a book cover. This feels kind of like a, no-brainer, but this really does make an impact. If you can see here, this gray and white book cover on the landing page, it fits nicely, but it also indicates to me that this is a different type of content. I'm not just reading a blog post or an FAQ. I have something here that's setting this aside and telling me that I'm looking at something unique to the site. It show up in all of your sidebar modules as well as on the overview page like you see here. So everywhere there's a book cover, it looks great, it fits in. There's no weird blank empty space there, and it's also compelling. This is drawing me in, it's engaging, it's more interesting than not having anything here or having just, a standard stock image. So this is an important thing to have. It's not just a visual element, although it is an important visual element, but this is what's gonna draw people in and make them interested in more taking that next step. I want to say no-brainer is a good title. So you need to have a compelling title for your offer in order to get people interested. One of the best formulas that we have found is to kind of use the number and then strategy method. So it's either number and a scare tactic, or number and secrets, or number and mistakes, or number and traps, like you see here. So Andy Rosenberg does a great job of this with his offer for 34 common estate planning traps and how to avoid them. So it tells me exactly what I can expect. There's going to be 34 items I'm going to go through. These are things that happen to a lot of people, and they're traps that I don't want to fall into, and he's going to tell me exactly how I can avoid them. So this is a great, compelling headline. This is the type of thing that you want to utilize for yourself and your offers, and you can also use it for blog posts. It's a good formula for that, and you can find these kind of tips and tricks anywhere on the internet if you just Google a formula for headlines. So that's a good easy one to kind of knock out. Another staple for your offer page is going to be a compelling reason. Again, these may seem like no-brainers, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's hard to kind of break out of that box that you put yourself in and figure out these little quirks in the psychology of how getting somebody to download an offer actually works. So one really great compelling reason that we see is this one on NVA's. This is a blog post that links to their mesothelioma form. So they're talking about mesothelioma lawsuits. I'm going to get that word right sometime. And they're really using this blog post as basically a landing page for their offer. They're linking to the book repeatedly throughout. They have buttons getting people to try and download that book. And then these are really the compelling reasons that they give for somebody to want to download this. It's an interesting one because it's kind of unique to them, but Hurricane Katrina actually essentially brought about a lot of asbestos exposure in Louisiana. And so this is a great compelling reason why somebody who might not think that they would need this would want to download this. You know, you might not think that you've been exposed to asbestos, but if you live in Louisiana and you did have anything to do with, you know, refinishing a home or being exposed to any sort of dangerous chemicals in a building, this is the type of offer that you would want to download. So this is a great example of a good reason to offer this sort of thing, and it's really going to have a positive impact on your conversion rates. So another thing that we cannot, we would be remiss if we didn't discuss in talking about conversion rates in offers is your form. So this is, you know, I don't want to speak in definitives here, but I think this is probably one of the biggest make or break things about an offer. If your form is not easy to use and it doesn't make everything completely dummy proof, I think that this is a really solid reason why people walk away from a download. In fact, there are a number of studies done by a number of companies claiming this to be true. Imagescape, for example, increased their conversion rates by 120% when they reduced their form fields from 11 to 4. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. So for your form, in DSS, you obviously have the option of including your heading, your intro, your footer, and then updating your button label and your required fields indicator. For the heading, you can keep it pretty simple and just instruct them to fill out the form below. Another thing that can be a little bit more convincing and compelling is to give them a solid reason to fill out the form below. Reiterate your call to action. Talk about what they're going to get when they fill out the form below. So, you know, fill out the form below to get your free consultation, or, you know, fill out the form below to get your free guide. Whatever you're offering, it's just reiterating that. And it instills that sense of excitement and that urgency to get it done. Another place where you can utilize this thought process is with your button label. So there have been 1,000,001 studies done on the right language to use for your button label. And unfortunately, it's the go-to, and it's the kind of one that everybody utilizes in some way as submit. However, it's not the best option. Your best option is something that really drives home the urgency of it. So download your form now, or gives them the option to feel like they're taking control, like give me my form, or give me my free offer, or get my free offer now. So using the now to emphasize what they're getting or how they're getting it or when they're getting it is usually a pretty compelling piece of language to include in your button label. I would highly recommend that you leave your required fields indicator alone. Everybody knows that an asterisk is a required field when they're filling out a form. Everybody knows that, you know, so it's just going to eliminate confusion if you leave that as an asterisk. It will create confusion if you do not. So strongly recommend leaving that as it is. We all know that on this form you're requiring first name and you're requiring email at the very least, and then you have these radio buttons down here that are not required because you did not specify that they're required here. So that's an easy one to just improve that opportunity. Keep your form short. So this one's real short, and it is asking for only specifically what we need. We need a first name and we need an email, and that's all we need. Expedia learned that they were losing $12 million a year in profits because they had one additional form field. So fields matter. The length of your forms matter. Do not ask for more than you absolutely need. If you're going to send off, you're just going to email it to them, don't require those things. Don't even include them. That's my soapbox there. I'll get off of it now. So let's talk about funneling visitors to your offer. So if somebody is on your website and you want them to download your offer, how do you get them to do that? And how do you get it to happen frequently without, reaching out or sending multiple emails about it? To a service area. So we just recently released this awesome new feature where you can assign something to multiple service areas. By the way, I should mention we are in our dummy account. So thankfully, no one is actually using New Shiny as an actual service area on any live sites. This is just a testing site. So no alarm bell should be going off right now. But so this new feature allows you to assign an offer or a piece of content or anything that you're assigning to multiple categories or service areas. And that allows it to show up for different categories or service areas on, for example, a blog post page where this information might be relevant. So if I have somebody reading a blog post about family law, I've now assigned this offer to family law, and this offer will show up on pages where I have that sidebar module assigned. So someone's reading about family law and then they see on the sidebar an option to download this great offer all about family law, and that makes it easy. That's targeting the right people. It's just a quick win to be able to do that. And now you can do it with multiple categories if you have something that spans a couple service areas. So we're excited about that new feature. You guys test it out. Let us know what you think. I think it's cool. I'm enjoying it already. So we'd love to hear what you guys think of it. Another easy way to get people to actually download your offer is to just email your audience every now and then. Even if I'm not the right person to receive information about family law, I might have a friend who's going through a divorce and needs a family attorney or just needs general information. I might have someone who I know who is thinking about going through a divorce. They're talking about separating, but they don't know what to expect. Maybe that information isn't super relevant to me, but I'm going to pass that information along to my friend who does need it. I know that I have a coworker who gets migraines all the time, and I got an ad for migraine treatment, and I sent it over to her, and I was like, maybe this will help you, because people think of other people that it's relevant to, and they share that information. So consider emailing this sort of stuff out to your audience every now and then include it in your print newsletters. I would say you can just even put the book cover and then a vanity URL. I would recommend a vanity URL because it's going to make it easy for people to remember. If it's your 9 Mistakes book, maybe your vanity URL is 9mistakesbook.com. And just make sure that when you set up forwarding for your vanity URL, you're including tracking, because you want to make sure you know that everyone who downloaded that from the vanity URL came from the print newsletter. And then you'll have a very effective way to test the effectiveness of this strategy. So one of the biggest issues that we see with offers and reports is a drip campaign. We have so many people that we work with for such a long period of time setting up these books. They've poured their heart and soul into writing it, researching it, outlining it, creating it. They have a beautiful book cover. It's a 10-page book, and it's a really well thought out, well researched piece of long form content, and people are interested in it and they're downloading it, and then they hear from you one time and they never hear from you again. Your drip campaign is an absolute must. You've got to set this up, and it's not just 2 or 3 emails. Ben Glass, who owns benglasslaw.com. He's an attorney, a good friend of the company's. Everyone knows Ben Glass. He actually got a $1.8 million case from a MedMal offer that he had on his site. His client did not call him until 6 months of drip campaigns. So he responded after 6 months to this drip campaign that's been running, and it ended up being a really profitable case. And they won. He was able to secure a great out on his site and a long drip campaign. It did not end after a month. It did not end after 3 months. It went on for many months. So consider that when you're creating your drip campaigns. what you want to include, more information on your topic. So links to blog posts that are about, if it's a family law book that they're downloading, obviously you want to include links to family law information, those blog posts, FAQs, that sort of thing. You also want to schedule a check-in call or a check-in email at a certain period of time during the DRIP campaign. So this is going to be, manual outreach rather than an automated email. And I would recommend you do it a couple times. And the way you do it is just in your campaign emails, specify the 2 emails. So this is going to go to whoever the person is that's responsible for picking up the phone and calling that person and saying, hey, I'm just checking in on you. You downloaded this book of ours a few months ago, and I just want to make sure everything's working out and you've gotten everything you need and there's nothing else we can do to help at this point. Or if we can, we're happy to. We're here for you. So once you specify that 2 email in here and you add it to your campaign sequence, I will always receive this email telling me to call that person until we go in and update this. But you can do that periodically throughout the course of the campaign. And it's really just a nice personal touch from you that feels like a little bit more important than an automated campaign. And it's, calls their attention. And if you didn't require a phone number on the form field because you were trying to keep it short and sweet, you can always send a personal email. Even that feels a little bit more personal than this automated email campaign. So definitely recommend including that throughout the course of your campaign, because that offer and then the subsequent campaign is about being there for your prospective client when they need you. That's the most important thing, and that's what's going to get you in front of the right people and hired by the right people rather than the competition. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that this was helpful, and I'm happy to dive more into offer options and what's coming next for DSS. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, please send them my way. My email address, again, is molly@fosterwebmarketing.com. And I am looking forward to our next users group. I will see you guys then. Thanks, everyone. Bye.